Alright, what's going on, guys? This is your boy Deliverance coming at you with my very first defensive ebook. So before we get into things, I just want to go ahead and go over some of all the different areas we're going to be covering in this ebook. So first things first, we're going to be covering some of my main blitzes or play calls from the 3-4 odd formation. We are also going to be going over a couple of my 4-3 blitzes that I do. I don't always do them because generally I stick out of the 3-4, but nonetheless, I know that some people might be more comfortable running a 4-3. So I'm going to show you a couple blitzes out of there as well. Okay. So first things first, let me just go ahead and get these guys to go ahead and switch here. All right, that way we can be on defense. Okay. So guys, so the very first play that we're going to be going over here, it's going to be this one you see here. It's out of the 3-4 odd. And here's what's really nice about the 3-4 odd, guys. It's in every 3-4 playbook. So a lot of you guys that enjoy playing MUT draft and things like that, it's great because you're always going to have your defensive plays if you start using this, okay? You see here my go-to percentage is 80% of the time I'm calling this. So the first play I'm going to be touching base on is right here at the bottom of your screen. It's going to be the pinch dog 2 press, okay? So we'll go ahead and do that, and we'll just pick, we'll pick a normal. We'll pick one of the more popular shotgun formations we like to see. This is actually one of the ones that Spot Me Please ran quite a bit against me, okay? So basically, guys, what we're going to do on this play, it's going to look something like this, okay? So here's the way the setup's going to go. The first thing we're going to do in almost all of my plays is we're going to base a line. So that's going to be Y or triangle, and it's going to be right on the D-pad or right on the left stick, whichever one you prefer. I just like using the D-pad. That way it doesn't move my players around, okay? So after we base a line, we're going to pinch our linebackers together. So it's going to be RB or R1 down on the D-pad or left stick. And then we're going to push our linemen out, and then we're going to crash them out. So that's LB or L1 up on the D-pad, and then we're going to press LB or L1 again, and then we're going to press up on the right stick to slant them outside, okay? So this is what your play art should look at this time. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to contain, okay? Now, I do want you guys to note that this is practice mode, so the players don't always line up exactly the way they're supposed to. So, for example, usually this linebacker right here, he's generally, when you're playing online, he'll be something like this or something like this. And so basically what that does is when we actually run this play, it kind of creates some confusion on the tackles. They pretty much put all their attention on the ends, and sometimes these linebackers just come screaming free off the edge. Sometimes they'll come untouched. So I would call this play more of a pass rush than I would an actual blitz. But nonetheless, I want you guys to see what this looks like. And then, guys, what I always recommend if you're running any sort of Tampa 2 or cover 2 coverage is you're going to put this linebacker in a deep blue, okay? And then you're going to be using the middle of the field. That's basically what you're going to be doing on this play, okay? So we'll run against a pass play first, and I'll show you another reason in a second why I like this against a run. But it'll just be a nice example of a pass play. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. You can hover your guy here. You don't have to. That's really kind of personal preference. Some people think it really helps the guard to pay attention to you, but we'll see what it looks like. So you'll see here, guys, you're going to be using these routes, and then by the time the opponent is really looking off his first or second read, the block shed's going to be there. So that's what's really nice about this play. You have 5 men right up on the line of scrimmage, and if you have good enough people, they're going to get block sheds, okay? And like I said, it's practice mode, so it doesn't usually happen, but those linebackers are going to come free off the outside. So let's do this one more time. Base a line, okay? We're going to pinch our linebackers together. We're going to push our line out. We're going to crash them out, and then we're going to contain, okay? And I always like to pass commit. That's personal preference, and I always like to put my corners in a cloud flat. So if you ever want to shade your flats, you're just going to press Y. You can press down on the right stick to go into hard flats. You can press Y or up on the right stick to go into cloud flats, okay? And once again, I like to put this linebacker in a deep blue, okay? And for these plays, you're gonna want to always be using the opposite linebacker, okay? And I'll show you why when we do run plays. But let's just take a look at this play one more time. Okay, so you'll see there it's a pretty nice pocket, but eventually someone does usually get a shed, or those linebackers come free, okay? But now I'm going to tell you this is a reason why I absolutely love this play call, because it's safe and it's good against the run, and I'm going to tell you why it's good against the run. So we're going to set up the exact same way, guys. That's what's so great about this play, because even if you want to stop a shotgun run, you're going to set up the same way. So base the line, pinch your linebackers together, push them out, crash them out, contain, and you're going to pass commit, even though you're going against the run, okay? So here's what your play art should look like. I like to put my corners into a cloud flat, okay? And here's what we're going to do, guys. And it's funny because Ace Madden, my boy Ace, actually just came out with a similar video to this. But no, it's out of a little bit of a different look. But so here's what you guys are going to do. You're going to hide. You're going to hide behind this left end. So when you do this, the offensive line, like, it forgets about you. It basically forgets about you. And as soon as the ball snaps, you're going to come flying off his inside hip. You're just going to come flying in right here like this, and you're going to get an automatic hit in the backfield every single time, okay? So this is what this is going to look like. So of course right there, he trucks me. But you see right there, you're gonna fill this hole every single time. It works best against inside zone, but I've seen it work against read options. Halfback bases, that doesn't really work that well against because there is a pulling guard. But even draw plays, it works really well. You just wait a second and then you come and fill the hole for draws. But this is what it looks like again. I call the pass play, of course. So I got to switch to a run play. That'd be nice. All right, so real quick, we're audible to an inside zone and base align. Okay, so here's what your setup should look. And you guys saw how fast I just got that set up. It seems like a lot of adjustments, guys, but just promise me you'll keep practicing because I promise you'll get it. You'll get it down quick. So here's what you do. Hide behind here. And then I was just too late. I was too late on filling the hole. I'm using two controllers at once. It's a little bit difficult. All right, one more time. Okay, that's the way it looks like. Okay, so every single time you're going to get a free hit on any type of inside zone or anything like that. Okay, so that's the way it's going to look. And then so even if your opponent, if they were to audible this play, okay, all you're going to do is the exact same thing. You're just going to control the other linebacker, okay? All you're going to do is control him, and then when he snaps it, you're just going to fill the gap here. It's the exact same thing. Just like I said, you always want to be controlling the linebacker that's opposite of the running back, okay? So that's everything we're gonna be going over for this play, guys. In the next video, we're going to talk about using the pinch dog 2 press against like I formation and single back runs and things like that, okay? All right, guys, so in the next portion of my ebook, we're going to be going over using the pinch dog 2 press as like just to be strictly a run defense, basically. So once again, on the bottom of the screen, pinch dog 2 press. And we're going to try this against some of the most popular runs in the game, okay? So right here, you're going to see this is the play that Problem Right used against me in the AFC Championship round of the Club Series. And the only reason I wasn't stopping him is because I didn't have anybody with a secure tackler chemistry, and the trucking is going to be tuned down in Madden, so it just hadn't been toned down yet. So here's what I'm going to do. When you know your opponent's going to run, okay, you pretty much know they're going to run. This is the way we're going to defend all of these runs. We're going to base a line, okay. We're going to pinch our line and crash them down. We're going to spread our linebackers, okay? So once again, the setup's going to be base a line. It's going to be, I'll go over this one more time just so we can go ahead and see here. All right, so that way I can go over the adjustments. But we're going to do this once again. We're going to do this with every single run that we're going against. This is just the best way to do it. Okay, so I want to actually call these adjustments out for you guys. So base align is Y or triangle, and we're going to press right on the D-pad, okay? And then we're going to pinch and crash our line down, so LB or L1 down on the D-pad, and then LB or L1 and down on the right stick. And we're going to spread our linebackers, which is RB or R1, up on the D-pad. Okay, so now you're going to see this. And now, personally, I always like to contain. I like to do this against the run because it forces your opponent inside. You see TJ Watt and Bud Dupree. They're gonna force Carson to go inside. Okay. And something you can or can't do, and once again, it's totally optional, is I like to press Y for my coverages, and you'll see if you click right on the right stick, it'll do shade outside. And what I noticed that this does, you don't have to press what I'm going to do now. If you're going up against like Stevie J's offense and he's running toss out of the single back tight slots, obviously everyone in Madden, they want to get the ball and they want to take it outside. They want to get outside your defense. So I just feel that it helps. It helps keep them inside, okay? So first play, we're going to be going over the stretch. So here's what you're going to do. If your opponent's running the ball, and usually you know what side they're going to run the ball to, unless they come out in a completely symmetrical formation like single back ace, you're always going to user the backside linebacker, okay? So this guy's front side, because this is the front side of the play where it's going, and then you're going to be using the backside guy. And you're just going to come flying, and you're going to scrape across, and there should be a hole that opens up kind of between 65 and 88. So we'll see what this looks like, okay? So you'll see right here, that's an automatic hit in the backfield every single time, okay? So once again, you know, this is what your play art. You're going to pinch and crash the line, spread your linebackers, and you're going to fill this backdoor gap, okay? Okay, so there you go. Every single time. Every single time, nobody's going to be running that stretch on you anymore. The stretch is not going to affect you as much. And that's what we're going to do with that, okay? So that's exactly the way you guys do it. I'm just going to show you the setup one more time. Base a line as what we do with everything. Pinch and crash your line down. Okay, so pinch them together and crash them. Spread the linebackers. I like the contain, which is the left trigger and RB. And then once again, you know, totally up to you. I like to, you know, put that outside coverage. You can press or not press. It's really up to you. And then we're just going to come across and we're going to fill that hole. We're going to fill that hole every single time, okay? So now I'm going to show you what this looks like. We'll go ahead and go into a different run. We'll go into like I formation power row, right? Because that's another one that we're going to see a lot of. Now keep in mind, this play isn't going to give you like a free gap to shoot. But nonetheless, it's going to be a really nice, solid, solid defense for it. It's really good against all the runs, as long as you're a good enough user. Okay, so once again, pinch dog 2 press, same setup, okay? We're going to pinch and crash our line, spread our linebackers, and I still contain. I like to move the safeties down into the box. It just gives you some more run support. And so basically what's going to happen here is this linebacker is pretty much going to take up the blocker, and that's going to allow us to come for the backside and make a nice tackle, or at least fill the gap, okay? So this is what you want to do here, okay? So you'll see, you come in and fill the gap, and sure, they got 3 or 4 yards there, but eventually your D-line is going to block shed. Once again, you know, we're playing on regs. This isn't MUT or anything like that. You know, we don't have our best block shedder, so this is what this is going to look like, and you come here, and there you go. So you saw I actually filled the gap. I actually got a free hit on the running back, okay? So that's pretty much what we're going to do. Like I said, I always like to scrape backside. You don't have to pinch and crash your line. I'm just telling you guys what I personally think works best. So feel free to take my play and then do what you want with it. You know, maybe you want to pinch and crash, but you don't want to spread your linebackers. You want to keep them here. Or maybe you want to keep your D-line, you know, the way they were or anything like that. Feel free to do that, guys. I'm personally just telling you what I feel most comfortable with and what I found to work best for me. So feel free to go ahead and play with that a little bit, guys. So the next play we're going to be going over, it's going to be the reason you bought this ebook. It's going to be my cross refire. So check out that video next. Alright guys, so this is it. The next play we are going to cover. This is the reason that you purchased this ebook. This play and this setup is what brought me to the top of Madden this year. Once I learned this, my entire scheme it really came together this year. So here's the play, guys. Out of the 3-4 odd, we're going with the cross 3 fire, okay? Now, here is the setup to this blitz, okay? We're going to base a line, which is Y or triangle, right on the D-pad, okay? The next thing we are going to do, we are going to blitz TJ Watt right here, this linebacker, okay, the left of screen linebacker. And the way you want to start making these adjustments, guys, you don't want to switch to the player and then press A and make the adjustment that way. You want to be able to do it all at once. So here's the way you're going to do this. You're going to double tap the linebacker button, which is RB or R1. So you see when you do that, the icons of each player pop up, okay? So we're going to select X, and then we're going to do his hot route to blitz, which is down on the right stick, okay? So once again, double tap RB or R1, click on X, and the right stick down. Now he's blitzing, okay? This is what your play art should look like right now. Then we want to put this linebacker right here. We want to put him in some sort of flat zone that goes to the outside, okay? So you can do this. You can either press left on the left stick or D-pad to put him in a purple, or you can press right on the right stick and put him into a hard flat. It doesn't matter because we're going to change those purples to blues anyways with the R shading coverage button, okay? So anyways, this is what your play art should look like now. So this guy should be blitzing. This guy should now be in a zone, okay? So now the rest is a little bit up to you as far as who you want to use or control. I like to contain. I like the pass commit. And now we got to change that purple. So all you want to do this, the way that you want to do this is you're going to press Y to shade your coverage. And you'll see if you click down on the right stick, now they're both going to be in a hard flat. Now this is preference, you need to pay attention to what your opponent's doing. Typically, I'll come out in a cloud flat, so you're going to press Y and up on the right stick, and that's going to put them into a cloud flat, okay? So this is what the play art should look like. This is the blitz, and guys, this is the meta. Looping blitzes are the blitzes you need to be using in Madden, and if you haven't been using them, you've been doing it wrong. I'm telling you right now, these are the best blitzes. I'll put it that way, okay? So personally, what I like to do is I like to user the strong safety, okay? I like to user him because, I mean, he's faster than linebackers. He's a little more agile. And you know what? Let's let these guys handle the flats. Let's let our linebackers handle the flats, and then we just patrol the middle of the field, you know? So anyways, let's take a look and see how this blitz works. Once again, it's practice mode. It might not work as good, but you'll see the looper. He should come through free, and we're just going to user the other routes. Okay? So you see it right there, guys. I mean, he's screaming. I mean, he is absolutely screaming. So I'm going to show this to you. This is what this blitz looks like. All right. So basically what happens is the right guard, number 75, he's going to get caught trying to double team the nose tackle, and that's just going to let Ryan Shazier come in screaming. I mean, look at that. By the time your opponent decides, you're already covering both routes. You're covering both of those routes right there with that linebacker. And boom, there's the pressure. Okay? So that's basically what happens. The tackles and all these guys take their guy, and that right guard's the one that's going to get kind of glitchy with it, okay? So once again, guys, here's the setup, all right? Baseline, blitz the outside linebacker on the left, put the inside linebacker on the left into a zone, and then now we want to switch these zones into hard flats or cloud flats, depending on what kind of routes your opponent's running, okay? So once again, we'll show this again. And you see right there, he comes in free every single time, guys. Okay, so when your opponent sees that, obviously, what are they going to do? They're probably going to start blocking the running back, right? So I'm going to go ahead and block the running back on this play, and we're even going to go ahead and ID the mic. We're going to go ahead and ID the mic to see if that helps. Okay, so let's go ahead and set up the blitz. Baseline, blitz the outside linebacker, put the inside linebacker on his own. Shade your coverage to get them into hard flats or cloud flats, whatever we're using. And I like to contain and I like to pass commit, okay? And we're just going to user patrol the middle of the field right here. Let's see if it picks it up. So you'll see, guys, that linebacker did pick up that blitz, but I mean, I'm sorry, the running back picked up the linebacker blitz, but that doesn't always happen, guys. To be honest with you, even if they ID the mic and do all that, typically it won't. That won't even pick it up. Okay. So we'll try this one more time. Block the running back. Okay. And we'll see how this works now. Okay, so you'll see right there, the blitz comes in once again. Ryan Shazier even took a poor angle. So basically, here's what's going to happen, right? Once your opponent is tired of getting hit with blitzes, he's going to start blocking his running back and his tight end, okay? So now they're blocking all these guys, and they're going to run three-man zones. I mean, that's what all the elite-level Madden players are going to do. They'll probably hit you with gun bunch. They're going to block their tight end and running back, and they're going to go three-man routes, okay? So this is what we can start doing here, guys. Let's go ahead and set up the blitz. And you see how quick I do that, guys. You're gonna get that quick. It takes practice, okay? So basically, what we're gonna do is if they start picking up the pressure that way, here's what I like to do. So once your opponent, if he's blocking the running back and the tight end, and you know he's gonna do that, we don't need B to be the flat defender anymore. So we're gonna blitz him too. So now your play art should look something like this. Now you have both outside linebackers blitzing, and you have the looper, okay? Now, so the only thing I'm going to tell you, if you're using this guy, just be aware of that. Just remember that you don't have a flat defender. So if they did leak the running back out and throw to him, you could just step down here and make sure you make the tackle on your own, okay? But I'm telling you right now, when you run the blitz like this, it's almost impossible to be picked up. And if it is, there's going to be block sheds eventually, and there's only going to be 3 people going out for routes. So all you have to do is cover them long enough for your guys to get home, all right? Let's take a look at this. And you're going to see, I mean, look at that. Even with that running back there, I mean, he came in free. And you see how quick it's coming in, guys? And there's only 3 people going out on routes. So I mean, that's really the way to do it. So now I'm going to show it to you just the way that it looks, even if you weren't. So we're not going to go max protect blocking, okay? So, for example, if it's 3rd and long, if it's 4th and long, I'm telling you guys, the strategy you need to be using, bring the house. So we're going to set this blitz up. but we're going to bring both outside linebackers, okay? So we're going to bring them both, okay? And we're going to go ahead and let this guy, I want to show you how quick this comes in when your opponent's not ready for this, okay? And you'll see, I mean, that play is in so fast, and there was even a good block on the outside. I mean, this is going to come in so nice for you guys, and I'm telling you, even if you're not even a good user defender, just by having this blitz set up, it's really going to give your opponent all kinds of hell. I mean, it's going to give your opponent all kinds of hell. So someone's, even if they pick up the looper, somebody's coming in free on this play, guys. Okay? So that's the way I want you, I wanted to show you how to set up this blitz, okay? So just keep following those steps, keep practicing those steps, okay? And then this blitz is going to hit home for you. I'm telling you, when you add this pressure, it's going to make your opponent play the way you want them to play. They're going to have to start blocking people. They're going to try running the ball against you because they can't pass. And that's pretty much the way it works, guys. I do just want to keep in mind that, you know, this is a cover 3 defense. So in a cover 3 defense, you need to understand where your defense is weak. It's going to be in the seams, okay? So, for example, the tight end and the other guy, if we were to come out here in 4 verticals, A and Y are going to be your biggest issues, and also out routes, right? Because this is a cover 3, so your opponent can just do this, right? And he's going to hit you for like 5, 10 yards of carry. So keep that in mind, and in the next video, we're going to go over how we can stop that if your opponent starts doing that by converting into a cover 2 defense, all right? So check that out in the next video. All right, guys, so here we are. We're still sitting in the cross 3 fire play, but now what we're going to do is we're going to learn, this is some high-level stuff, okay? Get more comfortable with the regular blitz before you try doing this. We are going to change the coverage. We're going to still make the blitz happen, but we're going to change it into a cover 2. So I want to show you how to do this, all right? First things first, you always have to base align, okay? Or else these audibles aren't going to work the correct way, okay? So this is how we change our coverage, guys. And it's going to seem like a lot, but it's really not that hard because everything is going to involve double tapping Y and activating our secondary. So when you double tap Y or triangle, all of your guys' icons are going to pop up, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we want to change our cornerbacks into a cloud flat. So if you want to do that, you're going to go ahead and double tap Y or triangle. Let's select our left cornerback first, X, and you're going to click down on the D-pad or the left stick, okay? We're going to do the same thing for the cornerback on the right, double tap Y or triangle, select that B guy, and we're going to put him in a cloud flat. So now, both of these guys are in clouds, and now we need to change our safeties into deep blues to watch over the top of the cover 2. So double tap Y, select your Y safety, click up on the D-pad, okay? And now we're going to do the same thing with A, okay? Up on the D-pad once we get there, all right? So now we have a cover 2 shell, and now you can worry about your blitz, okay? We're going to blitz X just like we did in the previous video, and we're going to put Y on a coverage. And so now your play is going to look something like this, okay? Don't forget to contain and pass commit. All right, that's personal preference. You don't have to, but I promise it works a little better, okay? And so now we have some options here, guys. We can leave this middle linebacker in a deep blue zone, and we can let him do his thing, and we can go ahead and user Bud Dupree, or we can go ahead, we can man hit Bud Dupree up, we can put him in a yellow zone. You can do whatever you want with this guy, whatever you think is going to help you, and then user him. In my personal opinion, what I like to do is I'll leave this guy in a deep blue, and I'll be the user defender with him. So let's take a look at how this blitz comes in out of a cover 2 shell. Okay? And you see, guys, it's the exact same blitz. It's the exact same blitz. There's just a different coverage behind it. So once your opponent starts getting used to you running a cover 3, and you shift this defense into a cover 2, you're going to get so many pick sixes. They're going to be so confused. And what I personally like to do, because cover 2 is such a safe defense, we're going to even blitz both outside linebackers, and we're just going to use it in the middle of the field, okay? So once again, let's go ahead and set up this blitz in a cover 2 shell. We're going to base align, okay? We're going to change our corners into cloud flats. Once again, that's by double tapping Y or triangle, selecting their button, and hitting down on the D-pad, okay? Select their button, down on the D-pad, and then for the safeties, we're going to double tap Y or triangle, up on the D-pad, okay? Now we have our cover 2 shell. We're going to blitz our X linebacker. We're going to put our Y linebacker in a zone, and we're going to blitz this outside linebacker too, okay? Because now we have a nice, safe cover 2 shell, especially when you're playing with 91 zones and MUT, guys. It's going to be great. So now we have this type of pressure coming out of a cover 2 shell. And you're going to see someone's coming in free every single time, okay? So that's pretty much the next setup for that blitz. It's the same thing. We're just switching our secondary into a cover 2 shell, okay? So the next thing I want to cover with you guys is if you want to be a top level defender, it doesn't matter what kind of blitzes you have. If you can't use or cover routes, then you're not going to be a real high level Madden player, okay? So basically, what I want to show you guys how to do, what I want to show you guys, what you need to start doing. You guys need to start passing off routes or baiting. Sometimes you could refer to it as baiting, but basically, this is what your opponent's going to try doing to you on most plays. Most high level opponents, okay? They're going to have some sort of high-low read on you, okay? So you see here, your opponent, he's basically going to have B on a shallow drag, and he's going to have those Y and X receivers on a deeper drag, okay? So basically, what your opponent's going to do, he's going to watch which one of those routes you guard as a user, and he's going to throw opposite of that, okay? So basically, you need to start learning how to pass off or bait throws, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just set up our blitz here. I'm going to go ahead and set it in I'm just going to go ahead and set up the cover 3 version. And basically, guys, I want to show you what you guys need to start doing. I want you to follow your opponent's first read, and then you're going to quickly drop back onto the next throw they're likely going to go to. All right, and then there's a lot of guesswork involved too as well. Like, you can pretend like you're going to one guy and then drop off to another, and then the next play you pretend to go to the opposite guy and then you drop back to the first one. Me personally, I like to work from high to low. So I'm going to guard B and then I'm going to drop to Y, okay? So this is what this is essentially going to look like. So your opponent's going to go ahead and hit the play here. So we're covering B, and then we're going to drop back onto Y like that, okay? So I'm actually going to go ahead and just come out in a normal cover 2, just so I show you exactly how I cover, okay? But we're going to do the same thing here, okay? Let's go ahead and we'll just create a high-low read out of this play, okay? So we'll put A like this, and then we'll put Y on a route like this, okay? So we'll just make a nice little high-low read here, okay? And so this is the way you want to start covering these type of things. So once your opponent snaps the ball, we're going to go ahead and take away the first read first and drop to the second. So we're guarding the shallow, and then you're going to drop back off to Y like that, okay? Now, obviously, there's going to be different plays out there. For example, there's going to be corner strike we're going to see out of the gun bunch, but nonetheless, I want you guys to start trying to trick your opponents when you're being the user defender and user coverage. Once you guys start getting the hang of this and you know the routes that your opponent's going to do against you, you're going to get so many pick sixes, guys. If you saw me in the club series, I mean, you saw the way that I would user lurk people, and it's just, I mean, it really ends up working, okay? So, for example, your opponent is usually going to hit you with a play like this, okay? It's going to be corner strike. And so basically he's going to have, and usually there's going to be some sort of low route. They'll drag RB, something like that. But basically you're going to start with the low route and drop off to the high, okay? So your opponent's going to snap the ball. We're covering Jimmy Graham, and then we're going to drop off the B. Because as soon as your opponent sees you covering his first route, he's going to want to go to the second one. And don't forget, guys, the blitz is going to be coming, especially when you're doing this out of cross-3 fire. The blitz is going to be coming. Your opponent's going to be ready to get rid of the ball quick. So as soon as he sees you take away one of his receivers, he's going to get ready to throw it to the next guy. And when you drop off to the next guy, it's going to be pick city all day long, okay? So I just want to show you guys that. Once again, start low, drop off to the high reads as the play starts. Or, even if your opponent's going out right, drop off and guard these guys, and at the last second, rotate out and come back left. Like, basically, you're passing off routes. That's all you're doing. You're passing off routes. But just get a feel for it. Start to know what plays your opponent's doing. If you start mixing in the cross-3 fire while doing this, I promise you guys, your defense is going to be taken to a whole nother level. All right? So that's pretty much everything I have to offer you in the cross-3 fire. Go ahead and watch the next video. We're going to cover the cover 4 Mike and some of the things I like to do out of that. Alright guys, so the next play we're going to be going over is going to be the cover 4 Mike. Let me just go ahead and get an offense out here for us. The next play we're going to be covering is the cover 4 Mike out of the 3-4 odd formation, okay? So it's going to be this play right here. Cover 4 Mike. Now, you can use the cover 4 drop show too. Right now, the main reason I call this play is when I know my opponent's going to run the ball. I like using this as a run defense. I just like calling the cover 4 Mike because the linebacker's already blitzing. It's just one less adjustment for us. That's really the only reason why I like calling this over others. Basically, guys, my setup for this play, and even if your opponent, they're coming out in I formation, see if I can audible to one of those things here real quick. I'll show it to you against the run. Is the reason I like this is because the front side linebacker is basically going to be taking up your opponent's blockers, and that's going to allow you to fill backside. It's similar to the way that I run the pinch buck too. Like I said, I just like it because it is a cover 4 shell and a little bit safer. So here's the way we want to do this, guys. We want to base a line like I always do. I like to pinch and crash my line together. And then I like to shift these pink zones into a hard flat because they play the run a little bit better, okay? And all you're going to do is this linebacker right here, he's going to take up your opponent's blocker, and you're pretty much just going to scrape from the backside. Make sure you spread your linebackers. I always like to do that. I think it gives them better spacing in the run game. And we'll see the way this looks. So your opponent says hike, you see he takes up the blocker, and it's going to allow you to come off pretty much untouched usually for the most part, okay? Okay. So, once again, let's try this one more time. And you're going to see, usually I can come through the backside there. Like I said, it is practice mode. It's not competitive mode, so the blocking is a little bit different. But nonetheless, guys, I think this is going to be a great run stopper. A great run stopper for you guys. Cover 4 Mike, pitching and crashing the line, and you're just going to fill backside. And you'll see right there when he went to cut out, my guy was there. So, that's pretty much what I like to do with this play against the run. So, once again, pinch and crash your defensive line together, spread your linebackers, put these guys in a hard flat, okay? That's the way that I like to run that play. It's going to be your best run support for anybody who's struggling, like really, really struggling stopping the run. This is a great way to stop it, is the cover 4. So, what I want to show you guys now is how I make this play into a maximum coverage play, okay? So if your opponent's at the goal line, you know they're trying to throw. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to come out in a max coverage. We're going to come out in a max coverage formation, okay? So we're going to change our cover 4 Mike, do a couple things with it, and it's going to be your opponent is not going to have any space at all to throw these balls. Okay? So let's just come out in a normal formation here. Call our cover 4 Mike. And this is the way I want you guys to set this up, okay? Base a line. Change your linebackers to flats. Make sure you do that first. You want to put them in a flat first because here's what we're going to do after this. Okay? I like to pinch and crash the line together in case they run, okay? And what I like to do is I like to put the A linebacker in a spy, okay? That way if the quarterback, you're only rushing 3 people. So if he does try to scramble, you have a spy. And keep in mind, guys, a spy's not really taking away a zone. It almost acts like a yellow zone. It's just following the quarterback. So don't be too worried about putting a spy out there and giving up zone coverage. It's really not that bad. And what I like to do after this, guys, we're going to also change our corners into a cloud flat because out routes and things like that, because they're playing deep blues, they might give those up. So just like when we were doing our cover 2 earlier, we're going to change those guys into cloud flats, okay? So now we have a hard flat and a cloud flat on the field, okay? I like to change my linebackers into deep halves. So basically, we have a cover 2 shell, but now we have hard flats out there as well. You don't have to change your safeties into a cover 2 shell. You could leave them in a cover 4, but sometimes it just allows your opponent to really attack the corners in the end zone, okay? But you're going to see how good this coverage is on this play. Okay? So you're watching this. I mean, there's really not a whole lot of space for your opponent to go. I mean, that stuff's pretty locked up. Once again, the spying the linebacker is completely optional, guys. So once again, your defense can look something like this. You don't have to put those safeties in the deep half. And you'll see, I mean, I accidentally blitzed my safety. Or, I mean, I accidentally blitzed my middle linebacker. But we just leave him in that zone. And you're going to see the way that this coverage is going to work, okay? Your opponent's going to have nowhere to go with this ball. I mean, there's so much. I mean, he's going to have to throw the ball in like an amazing spot in order to make any type of play like that. All right, so once again, base a line, put your linebackers into a hard flat, put those corners into a cloud flat. Your play art's going to look something like this, and you're just going to keep controlling the middle of the field. And see, as long as you're controlling the middle, that's the only space your opponent can go with the ball, but your user defender is going to be there. I mean, this is definitely a max zone coverage. And like I said, feel free to put those, to change it completely into a cover 2 shell. You just got to be ready to cover the middle of the field. But that's pretty much the way I like to do max coverage for that play. And like I said, you can put him in a spy. You can send him if you want to, but it just kind of creates a gap. Usually I like to put him in a yellow zone. And in this situation, you don't even have to go cover 4 Mike. You could do the cover 4 drop show too. Totally up to you, but I just wanted to show you the way that I change this into max coverage. So that's just by putting the linebackers in a hard flat. And then I just like to put my corners in a cloud flat. And I just think that pretty much soaks up all the zone that's on the field. Okay? So in the next video, I'll go over some of my 4-3 blitzes. And that'll pretty much conclude things. Check out the next videos. Alright guys, so like I was telling you, I did want to include a couple 4-3 blitzes that I know. A lot of, for some of you that aren't really comfortable running the 3-4 and things like that, I did want to throw a couple blitzes I do know out of the 4-3. I have ones I could do over, under, or over, but I like to start with the over formation first. I just think the blitz is coming a little bit better in my opinion. The first one we're going to go with is Fire Zone 2. And the other one is going to be Will Blitz 3. It's the same thing. It's just a cover 3 versus cover 2 shell. So here's the way we want to set up this blitz, guys. Let me just go ahead and respot the ball real quick so we give us a little more space. So basically, here's the way you're going to set up this blitz. First things first, we're going to base a line. Okay, we're going to base a line. You're going to shift your line to the left, and you can crash them left or crash them out. I think by crashing them out, it works a little bit better in my opinion. I like to put this linebacker in a deep blue, and the other linebacker, you're just going to move into this gap, and you're just going to hover with him, okay? So I'll go ahead and show you the setup again after this. I want to show you the way this play works. Our left side guy should come off the edge free, okay? So you're going to see he barely got picked up by the tackle there on that play. We'll go ahead and run this again. He's going to pretty much come off that edge every single time untouched. So base a line, which is Y or triangle, right on the D-pad. Shift your line left, crash them right or crash them out. Contain and pass commit. I like to put him in a deep blue. And you just move your linebacker up to the line of scrimmage, and you just hover. And you're going to see we just came off the edge completely untouched, absolutely screaming at the quarterback, okay? And so even if he wants to block the running back, your opponent's going to have to be slide protecting and stuff to the left, and it's going to make him roll out right. So keep that in mind. It's not like this can't absolutely be blocked, but they have to block a running back or tight end in order to pick this up, okay, guys? So the next thing we're going to do is the exact same blitz. It's just out of the cover 3 coverage, basically, okay? So the play we're going to call, we're going to go to 4-3 over, and we're going to go to Will Blitz 3 at the bottom of your screen, okay? Offense out here. Okay, so once again, we're going to base a line, shift our line to the left, crash them left or crash them out. I like to contain and I like to pass commit. Now, the last thing you want to do, because it is a cover 3, you want to change these purples into blue hard flats or cloud flats. So press Y to shade your coverage. You can go underneath for hard flats or press Y and up on the right stick to go into cloud flats, okay? Move this guy into the gap, and then we're going to go ahead and watch this blitz come untouched off the edge every single time, okay? Now, the only thing I will tell you guys, keep in mind, I want you to look at this cover 3 shell. Look at all this space out here. This is a lot of space for your free safety to cover, okay? So I don't like leaving him here like this because your opponent's just going to like to lob the ball over the top with A. They'll try to get like a fast seam slot receiver, and they'll pretty much lob it between those zones. So before your opponent snaps the ball, I like to just move my safety to the middle of the field, okay? So once again, we're going to base a line, shift the line left, crash them left, contain and pass commit, and then you can just change those purples into blues, okay? Make sure you bring your linebacker right here, hover, take away the read, there's the guy off the edge every single time, okay? So that's the way that blitz works, guys. And so now you can do the same thing with pressure coming from the right side. And the way you do that is we're going to go to the 4-3 under. So instead of the over, we're going to go to the 4-3 under, and you're going to see Sam Blitz 2 right in the middle. That's basically going to be the same thing as the Fire Zone 2. It's just coming off. This is coming off a different side, basically. Is really all that means. Okay. So we'll go ahead and we'll get a play out here. Okay. And so the way you want to set this up, we're going to base a line. Okay. We're going to shift our line to the right and crash them right. Okay. Same thing, just opposite sides. Then we're going to contain and we're going to pass commit. Okay. And now I like to put this guy in a deep blue. I like to move this guy here, or you can put him in a deep blue, and you can move this guy here like this, okay? That's more a personal preference of what you want to do. And then you just hover, and this guy should come pretty much free off the edge. And you'll see it got picked up good. Once again, it is practice mode. It never comes in perfectly every time. We'll go ahead and try this one more time. We're going to hover. And someone's pretty much coming in free. That edge guy's going to come, he's going to come free pretty much every time, guys. He's just getting bumped by that tight end when he goes out on his route, okay? So that's the way to bring it from the right side, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the next play. It's the same exact thing. It's just the cover three version, just like we did before. So 4-3 under, you're going to see will go fire 3, okay? That's the play we're going to pick. Go ahead and get formation out here. Okay, so baseline, first thing you always do, push your line to the right, crash them right or crash them out. We want to switch our purples into blue zones, and then I like to contain and I like to pass commit. Then you can just bring this guy right here. Opponent's going to snap the ball, and that guy comes free. Alright guys, so the very last thing I want to show you guys, it's a little bonus tip for you. Anyone who's struggling against the Deuce close formation, so the one with the halfback wham, tight end angle, this bad boy right here. Anyone struggling with this, the cross 3 fire is going to shut down this entire scheme. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly why and how. All right, so let's go ahead and pick halfback wham, and we're going to pick cross 3 fire. So here's the way I'm going to get you guys an automatic hit on the running back in the backfield every single play against halfback wham. I want you to base align and press, okay? We're going to blitz both outside linebackers like we did in our cross 3 fire blitz. So double tap RB, select X and blitz them. Double tap RB, select B and blitz them. Go ahead and put our guy on a zone right here, and you're going to be using this safety. And as soon as your opponent snaps the ball, you're going to come flying in through that edge right there, and you're going to get a free hit in the back foot every time, just like this. So you see right there, I went for a hit stick to try to make the video look better, but you're going to get inside every single time. You're going to get right through that gap. Okay, so hover right here, your opponent snaps the ball, and you're coming untouched through the backfield every single time. All right, your opponent's literally, he's not going to be able to run halfback wham on you. He's going to have to call another play. So most likely your opponent's going to shift into something like this. He's going to hot route into the tight end angle, right? So we're going to do our same thing just in case he does wham. I like to still blitz both outside linebackers. You don't have to. If they're really beating you, you can keep him out in the zone, but most likely you're thinking halfback wham. So you're going to be ready to fill this spot, but your opponent's going to have no time to make any reads. So you watch this here. Just use the middle crossing routes. Okay. So your user, and Ryan Shazier got nano detected for some reason. That'll never happen online. Okay. So we're going to audible to tight end angle. We're going to run the play. And you're just going to user cover these routes. And he's getting screamed at. I mean, your opponent is not going to have time to throw this football. He is not going to have time to throw that football, okay? So that's it, guys. All you're going to do, baseline and press, blitz both outside linebackers, put that middle left linebacker in the zone. You got your nice little blitz set up. If he runs halfback wham, you're filling that gap every single time right there. And if he runs tight end angle, the pressure is going to be coming. The last thing I want to tell you about this little extra tip video, there is only one area that you're going to have to watch out for. And what that area is, it's going to be a streak to Paul Richardson. So if your opponent wants to go like this, you have to keep in mind, if you look at the defensive coverage, look at all that space between our safety and our right cornerback. I mean, so basically here's what most smart elite level players are going to do to you, okay? They're going to put Paul Richardson on a streak like this. Probably block the running back to help with the blitz. And they're just going to loft it over top. Okay? So that's what you guys have to watch out for in this blitz. So just be ready for that. I just wanted to point that out. That's really the best way to attack this cover 3 is basically from a shot play like that. And if your opponent starts doing that, you can just not press. That should help you. And I like to get this safety, and I like to move him here. Okay? So now if your opponent tries doing this to you, you're going to see they're going to be over top, okay? So just keep that in mind, that if you do base a line and you are pressing to watch the halfback wham, just be ready your opponent doesn't lob it over top. I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that. I told you in this video I wanted to show you where all these defenses are weak and things like that. So just remember, cover 3 is weak in the seams, and cover 2 is weak right deep down the middle between the safeties, and that's why we usually like to put the people in the deep blue. So that's pretty much it, guys. Just want to thank you for purchasing this ebook. Feel free to reach out to me on any social media if anything's still confusing you. You can't seem to get the setup right. It's not coming in the right way. Let me know, guys. I promise this stuff works. Just practice, practice, practice. Get as fast as you can with those adjustments, because typically I can make my adjustments in just a couple seconds. I mean, if I'm doing my full setup right now, guys, I mean, this, you can time it yourselves. This is how long it takes. And we're already set. We're already set with the blitz. So, I mean, we're talking like 2 or 3 seconds is how quick. Obviously, I've been running this blitz for a long time. I've been doing it all year. Keep practicing, guys. I promise you'll get it. Go back and watch the videos and just, you know, just look at all the adjustments and make sure you keep practicing, guys. I want to thank you so much for your support. Once again, reach out to me with any question, guys. Good luck out there.